Wow, this is good stuff.
Old school, man.
David, I want to ask you, and I know this is something completely different, but obviously, Christmas night when the Freebirds turned and they slammed the door in the head of one of the Von Erichs,
Kerry.
Kerry. Uh, that had to be pretty crazy that night because I've been told that it almost had a riot at Reunion Arena that night. Is that correct?
Yeah. Michael Hayes was special referee with me.
Right.
And then he kind of turned on Flair at the end.
Right.
Michael's a big baby face here. And the way we did the finish, it was actually very, very dangerous because, it's a steel cage door.
Right.
And we had to make sure, it had a thing that come down around the post that looked like a U. And so I don't know how many times we told Terry Gordy, you got to make sure that's down. So when you slam the door, that'll catch first.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to kill Kerry.
Sure.
And I thought, and Kerry still took a lot of the blunt because what happened, Terry slammed it so hard, that thing, it's just on there with screws. It turned. Oh. And so Kerry still got pretty good blunt. But man, some people may hear Flair at the roast. Conrad, you remember that we talked about that match, and someone said, were you scared going to the back? And he said, no, I just got behind Manning.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
that's legendary.
It was close. We did a lot. Reunion, we sold it out probably more than anybody. I mean, it was crazy. Every Thanksgiving and every Christmas.
Right.
Our shows there for about 3.5 to 4 years were selling out, period.
Right.
When you think of high watermarks for world class, obviously this hair match is on the list because you've got so many folks that are there. The first Cotton Bowl show, the night with Flair in the cage with Kerry. Are those the big three, or are there some others worth mentioning if somebody is just now getting down the world class rabbit hole?
Well, Fritz still made appearances every now and then, and he was obviously a legend.
Right.
And when Fritz fought Kabuki, that was a big one. Gary Hart brought Kabuki in, and it was crazy. Here this guy shows up that's like 5'7", and we were all like, we built him up to be this, and we were all scared to death. But what a worker! Oh my God! And so we would do that when we had the right heel, like Brody. When Brody was a heel, obviously the final match it's going to be him and Fritz, and so that was big. I would say the other real big one was we did for the first time ever in Reunion, we did a 2-ring battle royal, which had never been done. So It sounded great when we put it together, but once we got those 2 rings together, we felt sorry for the people that bought a ringside seat on this end, and the match was in a ring totally on the other side of them. And if you're right up front, as you know, you can't see over the ring.
Right.
And so that mistake, and the other big mistake we made that we got a lot of heat for, at Reunion Arena on Christmas night, we had Santa Claus come out with all the kids and this and that. Well, it was Michael Hayes in the Santa Claus outfit. And when he got to Kerry, all of a sudden he started beating the hell out of him. And oh my God, we got so many letters. We didn't think about it. Here's all the kids, and they're like, oh my God. Santa Claus Oh yeah. Mistake. As it was happening, we were all like, oh, this wasn't a good idea.
That's so great. I love that.
And it was freaking Michael Hayes too. Jesus.
I love hearing about the good old days and stories like that. I wanted to ask your opinion. It feels like the biggest controversy, if there is such a thing, out of the Iron Claw movie. I mean, it was trending there for a few days. People were pretty upset about the portrayal of Ric Flair. You had a chance to see the movie. You're friends with the Nature Boy. What did you think of the Hollywood interpretation of Ric Flair?
I thought it was horrible. I don't even, you would think of all people. Matter of fact, I would love to be behind that movie being made, the Ric Flair story.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that was not good. And the guy that played Kerry, I think I'd have got someone a little bigger. You know, in real life, Mike was not even close to the size of Kerry and Kev. Yeah, that was, I remember seeing it in the dressing room, and when the Flair guy walked in, I was like, oh, yeah, they missed the boat there.
Hey, David, if you ever get an inkling that there's going to be a movie made about Ric Flair, would you alert me so I can just buy a condo in Grand Cayman and live the rest of my life away from all this?
Yeah, you know, Conrad, as you know, I don't know that you could tell all the Ric Flair story.
No, you can't.
Oh, you can't.
You know, I mean, I've been in a lot of bars with him, and holy smoly, the stories you hear are true. And so, man, what a story he would be. You know, because I was telling someone the other day, I had a guy call me wanting me to be, he was like, I'll give you any title you want, producer, director, and he wanted to do a movie on Gino Hernandez. And he already had a guy that's in, gosh, what's the name of that show on TV? The Bikers. I can't think of the name of it. They already had, yeah, they already had a guy from that was going to play Gino, and they still say they're going to do it. I called Gino's daughter, and I'm trying to have lunch with her, and put it together. But yeah, they were off that one. They did want me to consult, and they said, we'll give you any kind of title you want. And I was like, yeah, I could care less about titles. What's this pay? And so, but see, here's the thing. And this is kind of surprising with the Von Erichs. Like in California, our tape wasn't big there. And Mike LaBelle, you know, managed to keep everybody from putting our show on out there. Wow. And so we weren't big there. And the thing with Gino, you're going to draw basically where the Superstation hit, in my opinion. But Flair, that's a worldwide name.
Right.
And so I honestly believe, like I say, I just don't know how much of his story you could tell.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Erich Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.